Good morning, viewer. Welcome to TV Africa, the only Pan-African TV station on the continent. This is Breakfast in Africa. My name is Omulangila Kalema. Tonight, or today, we are humbled to have a guest who is a brother. His name is Taji Hussein. Taji Hussein is a journalist, is an author. He comes right away from the far North Sudan. He comes from North Sudan, that is the far. That means he actually comes from the border of Sudan, that side. But right now, we are here to talk about something else. We are here to talk about our brothers and sisters who are in Sudan, what we call now the Sudan. Mr. Hussein Taji is a journalist, I've told you, is an author, but above all, is a brother, is a Nubian. But of course, when I look at him, I can't say he's a Nubian. And you're my witness, you the viewer. You're most welcome to TV Africa and in Uganda.
Thank you very much, and I'm very, very happy to be in the African TV. Yes, really, I'm Nubian. I came from a people I believe on the first human being was there from this Africa, our mother Africa. And I am my roots from the far north of Sudan in the border of Egypt, but I born in the capital. This is why, unfortunately, my culture, I speak in Arabic, although my grandfather was not knowing any Arabic language. He was speaking in our language, our Nubian language, and I believe Nubian that are available in Africa in everywhere. Like in Sudan, we are in the north, we have our brother in the Nuba Mountain. And in this time, I'm very sorry to say, in this time they are facing a war from the system or the regime of Sudan. They have been killed by airplane, same like our brothers in Darfur. Also Darfurian, they have some tribes of them are Nubian. Or generally, if we talk, we are all Africans. And I know, as I know, also there's some Nubians here in Uganda. And also they are my brothers and my sister. I'm very happy I'll be with them here.
Thank you very much. Of course, so many people were confused to call you either Nubian or an Arab because you look more like an Arab, for that matter. But thank you very much for that clarification. First of all, just give us a picture. How was Sudan before the Southern Sudan got its independence in 2011?
Actually, really, now I am very sad, although I believe on everybody, if he doesn't find his rights everywhere, he's supposed to live free. I am very happy for my brother and sister in South Sudan that are feeling now free. But when they're separated, I was crying that time because like when your brother is traveling to somewhere, for sure you are not going to be happy. But because of so many reasons, I believe they selected or they have chosen the separation was more than 98% because what I have seen in Sudan. Actually, the most marginalized people, the most discriminated people, that were my brothers and sisters in the south of Sudan, and the same thing also my brother and sister now in Darfur and the Nuba Mountain. All of them are facing really a very tough period in the North Sudan, and that is not by our hand. That is by some wrong. You can say politics and discrimination and genocide. Nobody can believe. Now I'm saying more than about 2 million have been killed in the south of Sudan, more than 300,000 killed in Darfur, and double of this that are living out of their home in all the world, while Sudan is a very rich country. Because of this bad politics, because of this discrimination. I believe in Arabic is a culture. I'm not against Arab or against Islam. Also, I am Muslim, but I am against to control all the country with one culture or one region. This life, everybody has a right to select his religion, to select his culture. We have a different culture in Sudan. We have to recognize that to live in peace and to stop the war.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're looking at, we're talking about the land that has been there for over 8,000 years in history. That is Sudan. We are talking about a country or the land that is the father and the mother of civilization. where we find the pyramids. Right from Uganda, you go to Sudan, you go to Egypt. There are over 30 pyramids in Sudan. You know, the rich history that is there. First of all, right now as we speak, there are conflicts, wars, where people are being killed in Darfur. There are wars in the Brunei. There are wars around Mountain River. You know, what is the nature of the conflict as you, a journalist? I hope you've actually gathered some information about it.
Actually, there is ethnic problems. There is a political problem. The entering of religion and politics, all this, and no equality. There is no distribution of treasury. There is no a chance for the people to share in the say like in the government. Even they bring some people. These people that depend to the regime there, they say they bring 1 or 2, 4 person from Darfur. They pay them money, so to say that there is no problem, there is no war in Darfur. I think the world have to know more about what in Sudan. Really, it is a big tragedy. It is we are all of us who are suffering. Like now, a man like me. Now I am more than 12 years out of my home because I cannot say the truth. When I see my people, my brothers, my sisters, they are killed here and there. You should not talk. You should not write. So I'm out to try to reflect what is happening in Sudan. And I think and I hope that the problem will be solved because now little bit the world is looking for Sudan, and now there is some informations you can get it about the corruption, about the genocide. These people of the regime of Omar al-Bashir, they bring people out of Sudan from like other African country. What you call here Janjaweed. Some of them, yes, little of them from the Sudan, but mostly they're out of Sudan. They are foreigners. They come and kill Sudanese.
Okay. What is the main objective of this, of those rebels who come and kill Sudanese?
Actually, they pay them money. They deceive them. They talk to them about like using the political Islam.
Who pays them money?
The regime of Sudan. A lot of money in Sudan. All it is given for this, to kill the Sudanese. The budget of Sudan, nobody can believe, is more than 78% for the security and the military purposes. It is not for education. It is not for the culture. It is not for tourism. It is not for the people to be happy. It is for the people to be forced to accept whatever that nobody can accept it. But there is no democracy. Even there is so many election, but it is a big lie.
So who are the targeted people who are killed for this matter?
The government of Sudan, the government of Omar al-Bashir, his regime, his people, they are killing.
His regime, the regime of Omar
al-Bashir,
kills the locals.
Yes, the essential people. The original people, these people of Darfur, as I said, I believe the first human being is in our country. It doesn't matter if it is in the Ethiopian hill, in Uganda or Sudan, anyhow it is in this area.
So what do the foreigners want? What do they want?
They want to force these people, they want to force them to accept this Arabic culture, as I said. As again, I'm saying again, I'm not against the culture, Arab culture, because any culture, you will get a benefit from more cultures. When you know different cultures. Sudan, we are happy because we have diversity. We have a different culture. But we have to recognize all this culture. We should not stick on only one culture to say this is the only culture of Sudan. We have a diversity. We have a very beautiful country. But this regime, they want to insist these people because they are actually really, I can't say, but they use Islam. Actually, it is in the wrong way. I believe in Islam there is something talking about peace, talking about justice, but these people that are using Islam, which I call it political Islam, and I want my brother and sister in Uganda to know that Islam is good, but there is another thing. If political Islam doesn't recognize the other, doesn't recognize your different religion, different culture. We have to take care about that. I want to tell all my African brothers and sisters to take care to not repeat what happened in Sudan.
Okay, thank you very much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, We are going to take a short break, but of course, when we come back, we shall talk about Islam and Arabism, because this is actually the reason why people are being killed, according to our brother Hussein, who came all the way from Sudan. And is it culture? What does culture talk about when it comes to Arabism or Islam? What is Islam and what is Arabism? We shall be right back.